and welcome to this video in which I will be telling you who I think Poland should send to Eurovision 2024.
A disclaimer. I hadn't addressed this before because I had hoped that the EBU would come to the correct decision by now, but since they have not, I do need to address it myself. Israel should not be allowed to participate at the Eurovision Song Contest 2024. If Russia hadn't been banned in 2022, maybe we'd be having a different conversation right now, and on a personal note, maybe Eurovision wouldn't have become such an important part of my life, but this is the reality that we are living in, so this is the conversation that we are having. Regardless of what you think of the current atrocities happening in Gaza, intentionally cutting off other people's access to food, water, and electricity is abhorrent, not to mention the act of killing. If you think governments and broadcasters should be considered as separate entities, consider the situation with Russia again. There is a video explaining why Israel shouldn't be allowed to participate linked in the description, and the creator also calls to action about what you can do yourself. Please watch that video and do something. Further resources are also listed as and when they become relevant. I'll stop talking about this when it stops being relevant.
There's no national final this year, but since I am Polish and actually quite a few other people are making videos about this, I thought I need to throw my 2 cents in as well. So over the last 24 hours, I've listened to 133 potential entries for Poland. Of the almost 200 submitted, apparently. I found 2 separate lists on the internet, and also an Instagram account had posted about some other people being interested in representing Poland, so I just took all of that as fact. And of the 133 songs, I felt the need to write down something about a third of them. So there were maybe 40 at least kind of interesting songs to me, whether that be good or bad. In the description of this video I will put the playlist I made of all these songs so you can find them as well. In all honesty, I don't think any country can have 133 songs or close to 200 songs to choose from and have them all be great. That's just not going to be the case. I don't even know that you could have like 30 good songs in there. Obviously for Sanremo, I would argue maybe about 20 of them I really like, so that's an exception. Also largely due to the Italian language. But this was just mostly very mediocre or kind of bad. Just not really anything that stands out most of the time. And there was a whole lot of bad Polish grammar. Bad English grammar I'd expect, but most of these people who seem to be making these mistakes, because there were multiple songs like this, seem to have Polish names. I'm a little bit confused as to what happened there. It was never the entire song that was wrong, just multiple lines within the song that were definitely wrong. And I wonder if it's part of the way that language adapts the more globalization happens. For example, in German, one could argue that the genitive case is dying out because people aren't saying Hauptstadt des Landes anymore, people are saying Bundesland Hauptstadt. And also German has only 4 cases, while Polish has 7, and since they all come from Indo-Proto-European, and there's some other languages who have even more cases, clearly cases have already died out within some languages. Maybe that's part of it, that the bad grammar has to do with cases. I wasn't listening that intently, but it was just weird, and something I thought I'd say. Before I start with any of the songs that I actually know have been submitted to Poland, I'm going to a Jan concert on Saturday, so I can't watch any national finals. But I'll obviously do my best to upload my reaction videos as soon as I'm awake on Sunday, basically. Since Gladiator, I've been listening to every new song that he releases immediately upon release, more or less. But I never really stuck with listening to his music, apart from Gladiator, before the concert. I have been listening to more of his stuff and I do like it. And he does have a song which is technically eligible for Eurovision 2024 because of the release date, that being Charisma. Which, to me, sounds the most similar to Gladiator without being Gladiator amongst all the songs that he's released since Gladiator. That is my true wish. The rest of the video is now redundant, but Charisma by Jan would be my wish for Poland at Eurovision 2024. As far as I know, he's not said anything about wanting to go in 2024. Amongst the other people, I would say about 80 to 90% of them were the actual songs that have been submitted to Eurovision. The rest are their most recent song, their most popular song if it's by a margin within the last year, their most recent performance, or just anything I could find because one dude didn't seem to exist for the last 7 years according to YouTube. Anything that gives me an idea maybe of their voice at least. First of all, I'd like to comment on Akio, who I thought it would be a little bit funny because it's spelled A-K-I-O, so if Czechia sounds Aiko and Poland says Akio, that could get pretty confusing pretty quickly. But I like the angst in the lyrics, so, and the production was fun. Anna Jurszkowicz has a song called Varsovie, which I really wouldn't mind that. I think it's quite fun to have a song in Polish and French. I'm not sure that that's ever happened at Eurovision before, and I highly doubt it. And the song is kind of fine. Not really a standout, but I think based on the music video and the literal just topic of the song, the staging would be quite immersive into the city of Warsaw. Assembled band. I really like the music and the voice. And I think the individual pieces work. I didn't quite jam with the song on the whole, but generally, steps in the right direction. Maybe in a few years for Eurovision. Bliska with Obca was surprisingly funky, and the whistle was fun, and it's in Polish, so I would not mind that one, to be honest. Queen of the Night is kind of a banger as well, by Dante. Izabela Zabielska, Nowhere to Go. I like her vibe and some of the stuff she does. I don't think Nowhere to Go is a good song for Eurovision though, unfortunately. I actually also quite enjoyed Jan Majewski, Niebezpiecznie Mi. Witcher, Terror Horror, 1.5 million views. I'm not gonna lie, I was expecting this to have been announced already if it was going to be the Polish entry between Christmas and New Year's. And upon my 6th listen to this maybe, if it is the Polish entry, I'm in trouble because I've listened to it over 5 times already, definitely, because between Christmas and New Year's I was playing it for my entire family so that they could know, oh, this is the rumour that Justyna Stańczykowska is going to Eurovision again, because she was already at Eurovision 1995. All of my family's initial reactions were, isn't she too old for that? Isn't she already retired? So I don't know that the Polish people would really get behind her. Then again, Poland doesn't get to give her votes, so maybe it's better that the international community likes the song. I don't mind the song. It's actually slightly more catchy than I remember it being, I have to admit. I am just worried that it will get lost among all the other witchy songs in the semi-final. Slovenia and Ireland are already there. Slovenia in the second half, Ireland in the first half. Poland is also in the first half. The semi-final is hard as it is, or seemingly, and getting 3 witch songs out of the semi-final I think would be pretty hard, and in my opinion this is the least interesting one of them. Maybe not necessarily weakest, because that depends on the music taste, but I think it's the least interesting one. I like the laughs in it and stuff. I wonder if it's trying to get around some kind of Witcher copyright because of Witcher being technically a Polish property. But to be honest, I'm worried about it getting lost in the semi-final, and I don't really like Justyna Stańczykowska either. I don't know, I've been trying to follow her for the last couple months since the rumour started going around that it would be Poland's song, and she gives me the ick in a weird way, so I'm just not really a fan. I don't know what's gonna happen. The rumour is Poland will either announce tomorrow or on Monday what the song is, which is why this video is going out right now. But last year they also did have Blanka sing solo at the New Year's Eve party for one of the first times, or kind of seeding it in people's minds as a song to watch on a bigger stage. So I guess it's possible because Justyna also did that this year. But then I'm confused as to why there even was a submission period until the 2nd of February if the song was already out and the rumours were already flying that Justyna Stańczykowska, which Terror Horror, is going to Eurovision for Poland. So that's why I'm confused. As well as just personally this not being my choice. I won't hate it. As I say, I have to admit it's a bit catchier than I remember it being, but I think there are better options. Karol Zemła, Lepiej Znasz. Really enjoyed it. It's not for Eurovision though. I really liked it, but I would not be recommending that one for Eurovision. Kotleta Sojowa with Schmetterlinge is an iconic song. I don't know that it could do well at Eurovision. It could go really either way, especially in such a crazy year already. I don't know if that's also the right move, but I love that it's got mixed lyrics and bad German, and it's just really fun. I don't mean this as blasphemy, but maybe it could come close, or at least get in the area of being a somewhat iconic, funny performance the way Lascia Tumbai was. I'm getting the comparison from the German, I guess, and slightly nonsensical lyrics, but ultimately there is something there. However, the staging would have to be pretty good, because it's not 2007 anymore. Zabiłem ją, but Levi is entrancing. Juno, The Tower, the second favourite, I would argue. Yeah, I think it's fine. It definitely has some fun elements. It's just not for me upon first listen. It could still grow on me, I'm not ruling that out, but upon first listen, it's not my kind of thing. Though it does have, as I said, some fun elements. Mariusz Wawrzyńczyk, Hypnotyzuj Mnie, I really did enjoy. It's one of my favourites that I listened to out of the 133. I don't know that it's a perfect match for Eurovision, but I think it's a cool sound. The bass was really good. It's kind of disco-ish, and the structure is basic, but it works. Yeah, I don't know how other people will say the surname without stumbling over it, but That's their problem, not mine. Warrior by Mr. Narcissus is one of the first songs that I've personally found competing for going to Eurovision for Poland. I like it overall. I just don't really know if it's gonna translate on the Eurovision stage, so I don't know if it's a very smart choice. Na krawędzi by Olivia Rybczyńska. The first thing I thought of when I saw the name, I was like, oh, Polish Olivia Rodrigo. And actually, kinda yes. Like, musically, it's in that similar vein, but more Polish. So that was interesting. And it also reminded me a bit of H2O. I wouldn't mind this one. I don't think that it'd do particularly well. I don't know if it wouldn't finish last in the semi-final. But I had fun listening to it. Pan Savien w kolorku amaretto is a very fun one as well. The guitar is brilliant. And the song as a whole is also an actual banger. So this is also one of my favourites to go to Eurovision for Poland. I have about 3, 4, 5 maybe that I really would quite enjoy. Piotr Odoszewski, Dzień i Noc. I actually really enjoyed. It had very cute lyrics and the music was good. So that's also one that I would think would be pretty nice to have at Eurovision. Karma from Sassy and Mikołaj Blaszczello was very entertaining. It's traditional but also dark pop kind of, and just generally very interesting. Might be worth a listen if you like stuff in that kind of region. Hourglass by Serpents is another genre smashing song, the who knows which one in this Eurovision season. Lato 2024 or Lato 2024 by Tomasz Dorniak-Masuna. I don't think would do massively anything at Eurovision, but it is very much fitting with what the cover image is, which looks to me like a Polish wedding. It's one of the best songs that could be played at a Polish wedding, in my opinion, and obviously especially in the summer. Tozu, Wyznania Imigranta, or Confessions of an Immigrant, is actually such a vibe. I mean, obviously I relate, but also just the whole flow of the song is brilliant. I really enjoyed that one as well, and I think it would be a pretty smart choice for Eurovision, because a lot of people could relate to it, but they need to understand the Polish lyrics first, which is where the problem lies. But with good staging you could tell the story without having to translate the lyrics. But because the title's already in both languages, maybe there's an English version out there that I've just not come across, so maybe there's something that this song could do at Eurovision. The third favourite for Poland at Eurovision would be, I would argue, Jesień Tańcuj by, I have no idea, there's too many names in the title. Amongst others, LUC Films, because it was used in the movie Chłopi. It's cool and epic and traditional, and it's cool that it was already in a movie. Maybe that would be an interesting thing for the commentators to say before the song gets going at Eurovision. I just don't quite get it. It didn't quite click with me, but it's one of the other favourites for Poland to send, so once again, wouldn't mind it. Maybe it's probably my favourite of the three because it's in Polish and it's because it's got the traditional sounds. Łysa Góra has another folk rock song to add to the repertoire for this Eurovision season. Mitra, Jeśli chcesz odejść. I really like the voice and the sound in general, and it's kind of traditional as well. So other than Jan, who hasn't actually officially stated he wants to go to Eurovision this year, I would really like to send Mitra. That's my favourite out of the lot that I listened to, and it was one of the last songs I listened to. I think it was maybe in the last 10, so I was losing a little bit of hope. Obviously I had a few other songs that I enjoyed, but Mitra would be the one that for me fits my sound the most, has traditional elements, can be in Polish, and the voice is cool. So that's the one I would actually be choosing, which I don't think will happen, but that's what I choose. So those are my thoughts. My actual number one wish being Jan with charisma, but because he's not actually expressed an interest about going to Eurovision this year, I would actually want to send Mitra. Justyna Sędziakowska, Luna, and the film music, I don't hate. They all have some interesting elements, but they're far from my favourites based on my personal music taste. I'm excited to find out who is actually going within the next few days, presumably, according to rumours. Nothing confirmed yet, obviously, because why would it be? That's all I have to say on the songs that are maybe potentially going to Eurovision for Poland. There's a lot of them, I know, and I didn't even get to talk about probably a fifth of them because I was skipping some of the ones I made notes on as well. Thank you ever so much for watching this video. I really do hope that you enjoyed it, that you got something out of it. I will see you in the next one when that shows up on your feed. Bye! Jestem całkiem inny by Maciej Gomulka is also kind of interesting.